Obviously things have changed a little bit this year with signing day being a little bit earlier, being really the first Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this year after the last game of the season. So things kind of sped up, and it kind of happened a lot faster this year. We want to be very thorough. We want to be very strategic in how we build this second phase and this second recruiting class in this roster. Feel like we've got a really good group coming back from this last year's team, and we wanted to sign the right additions. And really, this is just getting started. This is the first day. There will be more. We're probably in about 7 battles as we speak, in recruiting battles as we speak, to be able to get some really other key players to help us build this roster. If we want to start defensively, start locally, with Fred Clark. Fred Clark is a 6'3", 220, 225-pound outside linebacker, edge rusher. He's versatile. He's got great hips. He's got great change of directions. He's powerful. I think that he's got a very high ceiling of where he's at. He's a local kid that we felt like would come in and be able to grow and develop and be a force on our defensive front in the future. Ethan Bailey is a 6'3", 235-pound defensive end, kind of boundary end guy. He had 101 tackles this year. He had 28 tackles for loss. He's from Wetumpka, Alabama. Both of those guys will come in, as true freshmen. As we continue to build, for now and the future of this program. J.J. Moultrie is a 5'10", 170-pound corner. He comes from Hoover High School in Birmingham, Alabama. That plays a lot of good football up there in that area, and he comes from a tradition-rich program. J.J. is a guy that's electric. He's a playmaker. He can come up. He can play press man coverage. He can play zone coverage. He can do a tremendous job in the return game for us. He had over 300 yards in the return game this year and a touchdown. So, he's a guy that I think that's going to play a big deal in what we're transitioning to, coverage-wise, and also in the return game. Be able to spark some yards in the kickoff return game, be able to spark some yards in our punt return game. Michael Hines is a 6'3", 235-pound defensive end, kind of field 5 technique from East Mississippi Junior College. He's from Hueytown, Birmingham, Alabama. He's a guy that's played in a really good league. He had 32 tackles and 3 sacks this year. He's a guy that's tough. He enjoys the game. He's going to be a great fit to our culture. Noah Fleming is a 6'2", 220-pound inside linebacker. He had over 100 tackles this year. He's athletic. He's twitchy. He's powerful. He's physical. He can fit the gaps immediately. He can come off the edge. He can be a disruptor. This was about an 11:30 p.m. last night, fight till the end, guy that we think is going to come in here and make an immediate impact. We're very excited about Noah coming in here and really giving us that length and power and speed inside, combined with the guys that we have coming back. Jabari Tiller's a 6 foot, 190-pound safety that is physical. He can run. He's got great ball skills. He can play boundary safety, field safety, corner, and nickel. He's very versatile. He's electric. He's a guy that's going to make a lot of waves in a short amount of time. Jalen Foster is a 6'2", 190-pound safety from Highland Community College. Again, 49 tackles, 6.5 tackles for loss, a sack. He's a guy that can play man coverage. He can fit the box. He can play boundary safety, field safety, star. He can come off the edge. This Jalen's another guy that's going to come in and we feel like make an immediate impact, that's played at a high level. Zarian Jackson's a 5'10", 165-pound corner that can fly. He can really run. He can play man coverage. He can get in your face and press you up and be able to run with you. He had 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 fumble recovery. He had 586 return yards this year in Mississippi JUCO and a touchdown. So you're also looking at a guy that can come in and really affect our return game and generate yards, returning kicks, something that we struggled in this year. So we had to go out and address some needs in the defensive back area, but also in the return game. And I think Zarian is a kid. He doesn't say a whole lot, but he's about business, and he can really run and help us in multiple ways. Offensively, you want to start with Bryson Kimbrough, a quarterback from Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, a 3-year starter. Has been committed since June. He's an early enrollee. He's 2-time captain, 2-time MVP. He's tough. He can run. He has unbelievable leadership qualities. He'll be here in January. He'll be able to go through spring. He's a dual threat guy. He threw for over, 1,400 yards this year. He rushed for over 500 yards, 9 touchdowns, threw 14. A very experienced guy that's going to come in and really fit what we do. J.P. Coulter, a receiver out of Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. He's 5'11", 175 pounds. He had over 800 yards receiving and 11 touchdowns. He was second. First team all-conference, which is a really good league. He's a guy that can come in here and he can make plays. He can play inside. He can play outside. He has tremendous ball skills. He's, first-class young man. He's a guy that fits our culture. He's going to come in here and he's going to make an immediate impact. There's no doubt. We always want to continue to build our offensive line. And we feel like that we hit the three of the main guys that we were going after, starting with Roscoe Tucker, that we've been recruiting since probably last February. Roscoe's 6'5". He's 320 pounds. He's athletic. He's already got a great build. He played at East Mississippi Junior College. Again, that's one of the better junior colleges in the country. He'll be a mid-year enrollee. A.J. Vincent is a 6'5", 305-pound tackle out of Garden City. That was a big target for us. He was a guy like we felt like we really needed to get, that we felt like could come in here and make an immediate impact, and he's going to. So he'll be a January enrollee, which is a big deal if we're going to rebuild a couple pieces of the offensive line. Kaleem Croswell is a 6'4", 310-pound guard out of Garden City. They played side by side at Garden City. He was first team all-conference in the Jayhawk League, which is a big deal. You're talking about Hutch, you're talking about Iowa Western, you're talking about Iowa Central, you're talking about Independence, Coffeyville, Highland, Dodge, all those great Kansas JUCOs, and he's first team all-conference. He'll also be an early enrollee in January. So we felt like we make 3 huge additions up front on the offensive line in the first day of signing period. We made some big hits, in the defensive backfield. Being able to add Noah at our inside linebacker position, I think Noah's an elite inside linebacker that's going to come in and make an immediate impact. We added some young D linemen to build our foundation. We added a couple older guys there. We added a couple really good, safety aspects right there with Jalen. And then you sit back and we're not done. That's 13. We're still in the middle of a lot, and it's going to go to the end on a lot of these guys the next couple of days because they're those kind of players. You sit back, and then that's the first day, and that's the second one. We're going to be very strategic. We're going to take our time. We're in the right fights with the right guys. I think when we got here last year, we were in a lot of battles with FCS teams. Now we're battling App State. We're battling James Madison, ODU, Arkansas State, Texas State, Marshall. Those are our battles now because we're recruiting the right kind of kids and the right kind of men that fit this culture and this league that we're in. And it's a consistent grind is what it is. We've got other big official visit weekends set up before Christmas, and it's just got to continue the journey to continue to build this roster. And it's every, with the roster, looking at going down to 105, in the future. Every spot is critical. And as this season went, this last season, our first season, our depth started to show itself around week 7 on. And that's why you got to have another great class. And you got to sign the right kids that represent what we stand for here, and they want this mission. These 13 players that signed today own the mission of rebuilding this program, own the mission of getting this team to the second bowl game in school history, to winning the West Conference championship, to playing, and winning a Sun Belt Conference championship. And they understand those are our goals, and that's the mission. And these 13 guys that signed today own that mission and want to be a part of it. Questions?
Coach, we're starting locally with Fred. Obviously, a guy right here in Monroe. It's nice to have talent right in your own backyard, especially that want to be a part of what's being built here at ULM. And Fred's going to be a huge role. Just the type of player he is and his mentality towards the game fits in perfectly with the program, doesn't it?
It does. Fred's tough. He's rugged. You study his junior film, and you see his athleticism. You see his power. You see his twitch. You see his frame. Fred's long, and he's 6'3", 215 pounds, and hadn't been in a Division I nutrition program or strength program. And you see what he can be. But the thing that sticks out to you is he's tough, and he's physical, and he's rangy. And, he's a guy that can play outside linebacker. He can also play on the edge. And he's a local kid that it means something to play for his hometown. So we're excited about Fred.
Do you feel like now going into year 2, this recruiting class has been a little bit easier for you now that guys can see, a proven track record of the culture you're building here at ULM?
It has been easier. The people, they saw the progress. I understand that we started out 5-1 and we beat James Madison. We beat Troy. We beat UAB. We beat Southern Miss. We had all those big wins. And these kids follow the season and they follow the game, especially when you develop a relationship with them and you work hard at recruiting. You don't wait till the last week of signing day or the last month and decide you're going to start recruiting kids. Our staff does a tremendous job. We work very hard at it. We've worked hard at building relationships all over the country. And I think it's starting to pay off. They see where this program going, and they saw the success, even though we're still disappointed and we're not satisfied and we're upset that we didn't get to a bowl game. But we're also proud and realistic. It was year 1, and the year 1 foundation was set, and these seniors laid it on the line. I've been having our exit meetings since Monday, and I meet with our players and our whole team since we left, and the attitude and the mentality of this team it's exciting. It really is. To hear the things that our players are saying and that they're talking about, moving into next year, it is exciting because they know how close we were and they know the things that held us back. And now we've got to be on the mission to fit those missing pieces that this team has to have in order to win a Sun Belt championship, in order to get to a bowl game and win a bowl game.
Coach, you signed one quarterback, Kimbrough. Are you planning to sign another one, or are you going to continue with the ones we have?
We're going to stay with what we've got. We're going to take Bryson. Bryson's young. He's an early enrollee. He's a 3-year starter. He fits what we do. We're going to take Bryson and grow and develop him. Him being able to come in January is a big deal because you get to go through spring instead of showing up in June. But that's it. We're not going to take another quarterback.
Coach, sticking with Bryson, we talked about the quarterback room last year, just how loaded it was. It kind of seems to work to be able to put, be able to put Hunter in certain situations at the quarterback position. Will Bryson kind of be that fit early on, or, is that kind of going to be his role as he works his way up into the ranks in the quarterback room?
I think that Bryson, the biggest thing he's got to do, he's just got to come in here, and I tell all of our players that first get here, I said, the first thing you got to do is earn respect. And you earn respect by doing the right thing, by working hard, by being on time, by being tough, by being a great teammate, by willing to grow and develop. And Bryson understands that. He's very smart. He's very intelligent. He's tough. He's a leader. He's a worker. That's the biggest thing, because you come in and earn respect on who you are every day, and the growth and the development takes place as that happens.
Loyalty, is a word that doesn't really exist much in the college game anymore. Just for these 13 guys to come here, and for the guys who, are going to stay here in this program, just what does that say about them and the loyalty that they have to ULM?
It's really, if we could have recorded probably 70 of the last individual player meetings that I've had on this team, there's a lot of loyalty. There's some things we can't overcome, There's some things that we can't overcome in today's college football. But we've got a lot of players, a lot of really good players on this team coming back that are being called left and right and being approached and reached out to leave. And I can't tell you the number of guys that have come in my office and say, Coach, I ain't going nowhere. We're going to finish this mission. This matters to us. It's important to us. And, I want to be around people I trust and people that are about the right things, and they like it here. They want to be a part of that, and they know we were close, and they want to finish it. They want to be there. They want to be a part of that team that gets to the first bowl game since 2012. They want to be a part of that team that wins the first bowl game in school history. So it's been very inspiring as a head coach to hear that from your players.
Coach, as you mentioned, college football is changing. Recruiting is becoming more and more challenging for college coaches across the nation. But I see, the 4 true freshmen you bring in and the transfers from JUCOs that are high-quality JUCOs, just to have that mix of the young guys who are going to come in with 4 years that have an immediate impact, and those JUCO guys that have the college football experience. The growth, how's it going to help this team grow?
It's going to pay off. What people don't see is I see 5 true freshman offensive linemen that people don't, the Nate Greens, the Jaden and Jordan Rose, the David Applewhites, you got Ryan, you see there's a lot of Jonathan Bibbs, Caleb Gross, Jaden Counter, Amir Adams. There's a lot of really good young players that people didn't see, and it's not easy to build a roster. It's not, and you got to be very strategic, and you've got to always try to build a foundation of young offensive and defensive linemen, because that is the position that has to be grown and developed, the speed, the power, the technicality, and that's what we're doing here. But we've also been able to do it with some young, great skill players. Jake Godfrey's a redshirt freshman. Aiden Armina's a redshirt freshman. Bibbs and Gross and all those linemen, all these guys. So we've got this roster. It takes time to build an elite roster that can survive 12 games to play that 13th and 14th. That 13th game is the conference championship. That 14th game, is your bowl game. So it takes time, and it's shaping, and the right pieces are coming. We're going to sign 14 more players. We're halfway, not even halfway home to this next class, but we're being very strategic, and things happen. Ahmad Hardy's getting in the transfer portal. And you know what? Let me tell you this. Ahmad Hardy, from the day he got here to the day he left, he gave everything he had to this university, to this football team, and he did it the right way. He practiced at an elite level. He was a great teammate. He was a great person, and he represented us at first class. And I'm happy for Ahmad Hardy because he did it the right way. On the flip side of that, I've got power 4 running backs reaching out that want to turn their NIL deal in because they want those 25 or 28 carries because they know what we're going to do on offense. So there's a flip side to it too. He came in here and he did it right. And I love that kid. And I wish him nothing but the best. And I mean that from my heart because who he is and how he did it. But there's a lot of running backs that want to come here because they've seen it, and they've seen the last 4 running backs before Ahmad, what they did. And so, there's there's flip sides of it too, but that's what it is, and it's college football now.
You know, there's already been a couple changes on the coaching staff. I mean, do you expect any more evaluations for the staff going forward?
You know, this was tough, man. You know, it's every decision when you care about people's tough. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Broderick and Jamal are first-class people, and they're first-class coaches. And they're good men, and they're good leaders. Sometimes as the head football coach, you have to make tough decisions. And for the first time since I was probably 23 years old, I'm going to give up the offensive coordinator role. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to go hire an offensive coordinator. And so that's what this whole thing is about. And the best thing for me to do on the phase that this program's at and the demands of where we're wanting to take this program, I can't be the head coach and the offensive coordinator and the lead fundraiser and the nutritionist and the recruiter and the facilities builder, you know, and I'll take on every one of them. But I had to look myself in the mirror and say, is this what's going to get this program to the next level? And I felt like the best thing for this team and this program on where we got to go was to give up the offensive coordinator position. And in order to do that, I've got to go out and hire an offensive coordinator. And I've been a coordinator for a lot of years, you know, and that guy wants to at least bring one guy with him. And so that's the direction that this program's heading.
You know, Coach, this is a long season. We talk about the players and the injuries and the fatigue they endure during the season, the coaches as well. You know, usually those bye weeks is a recruit. It's a long season. It's strategizing. Like walking here today, see your energy about this recruiting class. You know, you can see the light in the tunnel, what can be. This is an exciting day for you.
It is. You know, phase one is complete, and you know what? The 2024 football team will always be remembered in my mind as the team that laid the foundation, the team that started the reputation and the culture of toughness, of never giving up, of never giving in, that will fight you and play you to the last second of the season, what this team did. And there's things that we've got to get better at, and we've got to look in the mirror. But I'm telling you right now, you know, I've got more focus and more determination and more drive going into phase two. I tell you what, if you think you saw a tough football team last year, you ain't seen anything. This next team will be the toughest, most disciplined, rugged football team that's come and walked these halls in a long time. And I'm excited. I'm driven. I know what we're building. And I know we've still got a tough road to climb, so let's climb it, you know. And I've got a lot of energy, a lot of juice after what we've been through, you know, but our staff has worked tremendously hard. And we got a bunch of grinders because that's what it's going to take to get this place and this program where it deserves to be. And there's so many positives. You know, I know standing here right now in this new team room and looking around, we've made unbelievable progress and taken huge strides year one. So what are we going to do year two? And I think we're just getting started, because I think this town and these people and our players, being in the meetings that I've been in the last couple of days, they're driven and they're hungry, and we just got done, you know. So we're definitely in the right direction. There's a lot of excitement. We just got to keep building. It's a part of it.